UFOs. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, there is actually a mounting body of evidence regarding the UFO phenomenon that can no longer be ignored. If you look past all of the alien horror films, the fake blurry UFO videos, and the ancient aliens memes, you'd be surprised at how many former high-ranking government officials, scientists, and military contractors believe that UFOs should be taken more seriously. Former Canadian Minister of National Defense Paul Hellyer believes we're already being visited.
With absolute certainty that four different species, at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years.
In 2016, Hillary Clinton stated on Jimmy Kimmel that she would search for more UFO files if elected.
I would like us to go into those files and hopefully make as much of that public as possible. If there's nothing there, let's tell people there's nothing there.
Hillary's former campaign manager and former chief of staff to President Bill Clinton and Obama, John Podesta, has repeatedly said he believes the UFO phenomenon is something very serious and worth investigating. Before Podesta left his position at the White House, he tweeted, "Finally, my biggest failure of 2014, once again, not securing the disclosure of the UFO files. # the truth is still out there." 10-year NASA contractor Rob Bigelow, who develops space habitat pods, gave this shocking statement during a 60 Minutes interview.
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. And I spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
Those millions of dollars Bigelow spent was authorized by the Pentagon's top-secret UFO research program called the Aerial Threat Identification Program. Rob Bigelow was the sole contractor. Bigelow continued to explain that you don't have to go anywhere to find ET life because it's right underneath our noses. He also said he's had his own close encounter with an ET. He declined to go into further details. In the New York Times article, Glowing Auras and Black Money, the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program, they mentioned Bigelow even has recovered UFO debris and metal alloys stored in one of his facilities in Las Vegas. They stated, researchers also studied people who said they had experienced physical effects from encounters with the objects and examined them for any physiological changes. But here's what most people don't know. In 1993, declassified documents from 1952 revealed that the CIA's Psychological Strategy Board made it a mandate to purposely debunk all UFO reports for national security concerns. These documents also revealed that the CIA planned on partnering with the mass media, Hollywood, business clubs, and even the Disney Corporation to discredit all UFO research. The former governor of Phoenix, Arizona, Fife Symington, during the 1997 Phoenix Lights event is a perfect example. The Phoenix Lights were witnessed by 20,000 people or more. Shortly after the sighting, the governor made a huge joke about the event during a national press conference. He had a handcuffed man in an alien costume enter the room and said that people are taking all of this too seriously. In 2011, the governor later came forward in the documentary Secret Access: UFOs on the Record and confessed that he saw the lights right above him near his house. On CNN, he said it was probably some form of an alien spacecraft. Symington explained at the time he was driven to give an explanation instead of just saying, "I don't know," and admitting to complete vulnerability. He continued to say, public officials need to be more open and more courageous in dealing with issues like this, and that it's time to square up and do the right thing. Hundreds of declassified and leaked UFO documents can be found online, thanks to FOIA requests and tireless researchers. Hopefully more people will learn the truth on the government suppression of UFO research and begin to study the UFO phenomenon with proper scientific methods and an open mind.
I'm from the Zuni Pueblo Indian tribe of New Mexico, and the reason I decided to come and talk with you folks today is because I think that we have a lot of information that has been kept within our Indian communities for a long time, and with things that are happening in the world, I believe that there's a lot of connections with what we have known for centuries, or at least my ancestors. So I believe that it is time to talk about these things and to let the other people know about what we have had for many, many years.
The sample of sort of a phenomenon that happens. This is me with my lightsaber, but and objects just appear that will then signal to us, and they're quite large actually, and they will do it over and over again over the course of a night. So we call these cosmic light bulbs, where they're flash bulbs, where they just sort of appear and light up. And then we have these objects. This looks like it's a satellite. It isn't. We go out with satellite charts, and this was at a time of night there were no satellites visible, and it gets very big and then moves over. Sometimes they'll stop and change directions. So these may be very high up in the sky, and then there'll be phenomena that's happening all around us like those other objects. And the main thing to understand is that if they're doing something like this, what they're really wanting you to do, it's like an invitation. Come. Well, how are you going to come? We don't have a anti-gravity vehicle to go there. You go into consciousness and float up to them. You go to them. Does that make sense? Yeah. So here's another one. Often this spacecraft that I call the one that Kindness is on, I call her that. She's an ET with a perfectly round head, like a round, and no hair and no outer ears, that I met in Sherry's apartment the night that Sherry passed away. And Sherry introduced me to her in the worlds of light and dreamtime. And every single time we've gone out since then, this ship has appeared. And it's classically blue to blue-white, diamond white.